One of the things I love messing around with the most in Minecraft is water, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make an entire house out of it. The first thing you need to do is clear a sort of gutter in the floor. That's where the water is going to, for lack of a better word, drain into. It's basically going to stop it from flooding your game world. And for the most basic of the houses, I'm just going to use a 9x9 square, because it works very nicely for where you want to put the entrance to the house. You can make it dead center with a single door. And for that I'm just going to use a wooden block just to show where the entrance is going to be. You now need to form the ceiling, and for this I'm going for as absolute small as I can. You can go up as high as you want. You just need to basically trace the inside square to the house to get the ceiling. So in this case it would be a 7x7 square, entirely filled in. It's worth noting that while I'm doing this in creative mode, it's really easy to do in survival mode as well, since all you really need are some form of basic block and water, which is very easy to get, extremely easy to get an infinite supply of just by using 2 buckets. Once you've completed the ceiling, all you need to do is build the roof any way you want it. Now it will work as it is, or you can just put a couple of layers on it to form the pyramid stack that a lot of people use for the roofs. It just won't look very good if you were to use wooden steps or stone steps or something like that. The water won't fit on it properly and it'll look a bit strange. Now this is very important. For the entrance, as it is right now, if you were to pour water on it, it would go absolutely everywhere. So you put 2 blocks above where you want the entrance to be. What this basically means is that when the water lands, it won't go any further than that first block. It will trickle off to the sides into the drain, as you can see here. All this means that eventually you will be able to put an actual door for the entrance to the house. What you have to do then is go around filling up the rest of the water where you need it. Like so. And then, if done correctly, if you break this block, it should be absolutely perfect. So, what you need to do then for the finishing touch is pop down a door. And at its most basic, it is complete. It's worth noting that enemies are still able to come through the walls if they are aggravated, although generally speaking they leave you alone otherwise, and it confuses the hell out of any endermen that are around. If you want to make it look a little bit tidier, I like to personally put a ring around the outside of the house made out of wood, basically touching where the water is. It just gives it a slightly cleaner look. In most of the worlds that I build, I use this for sort of pool house effects, although I have had a couple of worlds where I've actually lived in one that looks exactly like this. And you can of course use absolutely any materials. Here I use iron for the pool house because it just looks a little bit more like tiles, gives it a much more cleaner look. You can use glass as well, and if you have a glass floor you can actually have a pool of water underneath that as well, which can look very cool, especially if you illuminate it underneath with glowstone. Where I said you can make buildings as tall as you want, you can also use multiple floors to have an entire home, complete with treasure area, enchanting, crafting, smelting, and of course an absolutely enormous bed at the top. And you can live nice and easily with your own built-in elevator. If you want to go a little bit grander than a house, you can try a cathedral. This is an example of one that I made. It took an absolutely enormous amount of time, even on creative, but looks incredibly cool both from the inside and from the outside. These can go absolutely as high as you want. For this one I just got slightly smaller with each floor. But maybe water isn't your thing. You can also use lava for the houses, if you want to make something a little bit darker. However, you can't use anything flammable for the frame, for the guttering, or for the ceiling. But you can use, much like the cathedral, different spires to create more of a burning church look. Just if that's what tickles your fancy. Anyway, hope this video has given you some cool ideas on stuff you can do with the various liquids in the game. Peace.